considered you should be taking turmeric for osteoarthritis? Or have you considered, maybe I should start taking that? Well, there are 5 things I want you to know about turmeric and its partner in crime that actually has the anti-inflammatory properties in it, curcumin. Now, if you don't know what curcumin is, I want you to continue watching this video. But one of the things I want you to think about before you start taking a supplement is to make sure it actually contains the right amount of curcumin that's actually going to bring you anti-inflammatory properties, because if it doesn't, then it might not be doing what it says it's doing, and you might be wasting your money. So I'm going to tell you the 5 things that you need to know when you're picking a supplement as far as dosages and even the benefits. But at the very end, I'm going to show you the #1 recommended turmeric supplement by Consumer Labs and the seasoning that you can also use that contains turmeric and curcumin, because there's lots of stuff out there and lots of brands, and I want to make sure that you have the most quality one. Now, caveat being, just make sure you get it cleared with your doctor. I will talk about some of the risks and things, but before you start ingesting anything, please make sure that you are talking to your doctor to make sure that there's no side effects. All right, ready? Here we go. Alright, so turmeric is a common supplement that people take with osteoarthritis. But here at Keep the Adventure Alive, we are always about helping you make more well-informed decisions and not just starting to take it just because your friend said it would help. So the magic from turmeric comes from a thing called curcumin. Now, why you need to know this is because curcumin is what brings those anti-inflammatory properties and some antioxidants, which just help to fight kind of the bad cells in your body. But some supplements don't necessarily contain as much curcumin as they say they do or as they claim to. And so if it doesn't, then that turmeric is not going to be as effective. And you also need to know a couple of other things when it comes to picking and deciding if turmeric is actually right for you. So I'm going to tell you 5 things that you need to consider before taking turmeric and curcumin in order to get the best results. All of this information is coming from a very, very magical website when it comes to supplements and some medications and things. It's called Consumer Lab. Consumer Lab, and it is a super, super cheap membership. And what it does is it goes through all the supplements, tells you all the studies that they ran on them, and which supplements are better than others as far as brand, and which are approved and which aren't. I use this for all of my supplement information, so the things I'm going to be sharing with you are coming a majority from that website. It's very, 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 very important. Okay, so #1 is, what are even the benefits of it? Why would I even take this to begin with? Well, there are some exciting benefits when it comes to osteoarthritis, and that is there has been compelling evidence that people have been able to reduce pain, stiffness, while improving mobility, which is basically the 2 hallmark things we're always trying to improve with osteoarthritis, and improving mobility, improving quality of life, and being able just to do the things that you want to do. So we've been able to reduce these and increase mobility. And there have been tons and tons of studies on this that show that it actually has direct benefits when it comes to osteoarthritis. And this is why people typically run to take turmeric and some other things, just because it has these promises of helping to reduce pain and stiffness. Now, obviously, it is going to depend on the person, and everybody is going to respond a little bit differently. And so That is one caveat with this, that even if you are taking it, don't necessarily expect complete magic. It may help reduce these things while you're doing exercise and other things that you can help with inflammation. So even if you're, don't have a great diet or not really exercising, just because you take turmeric does not necessarily mean that these things are guaranteed. So you always want to supplement it with other things, which is why they're called supplements. You want to use other treatment aspects too, like diet and exercise and the things that we talk about, but it can actually help get you more benefit out of some of those things. Now, number 2, I just want to be real for a second before we go into more benefits of this, is actually there are some risks. And it's super important to be well informed about these risks. And as always, before you take any supplement, before you put anything into your body, you always want to make sure that you check with your family physician or pain management or whoever you see that manages your medications, that this is not going to interact. Because one of the things that they did find, there are some adverse side effects, a lot of it related to gastro symptoms. So all gastrointestinal. So all this means is people experience some abdominal pain and people experience some nausea with this. And those were kind of the main side effects. But also it's really important, it does have some impact on medications. And so one in particular that is common, especially if you have osteoarthritis and diabetes, is that it can impact blood sugar lowering medications. So medications that you're taking to lower your blood sugar, this can actually interact in a not so good way. So this is just one thing to discuss with your doctor, because the doses that you're taking might not be the doses that it interacts with or the type, but you just want to always make sure before you put something into your body that you aren't going to get any of these negative side effects. So those are just a couple of risks that they found. They found some other ones, but these are kind of the main ones that came up in some of those studies. Okay, now number 3 is actually what the recommended dosage is, because this can be a muddy topic and you can find different answers everywhere. But one of the things that typically studies have recommended, especially when finding these benefits, is you want to take between 1,000 milligrams and 1,500 milligrams. So this is kind of the recommended dosage of turmeric and curcumin. So when you're taking turmeric, you also are taking curcumin because curcumin is in turmeric. So I just want to make that clear. Okay, so this is the recommended dosage that a lot of these studies have found. If you take this dosage, then you likely will see some of the best results. But again, it also is going to depend on what you're already taking and if this dosage is safe for you. In this instance, just because you take more of it does not necessarily mean you're going to get more results. And so I also want to make that clear, that even if you take, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, that does not magnify this, because there is a sense of taking too much that your body can't handle and it can't process it. So we like to kind of stick around this dosage, again, once it's safe. Now, how often? And this is I actually learned this by reading these studies. When you take, so sometimes it's, they recommend like 3 to 5 times a day, some even recommend 1, but it was actually very interesting that it was recommended in consumer labs to take it twice a day, because the half-life is relatively short. So half-life just means that how long it can last in your body before it's gone or before it's digested or processed, things like that. So the half-life is short on this. So say you take it in the morning and you don't necessarily take it again through the rest of the day. So you're kind of just taking it once a day. then you're only getting those effects in a couple of hours. It didn't actually say how long it lasts in particular, but it did say a few hours. So those effects are going to go away after the first few hours. So it actually does recommend to take it at least twice per day. And that is because that half-life is short. So when you're looking at a label or the directions on how to take something, now you know why you're taking it twice per day, or now you know why you should be maybe taking it twice a day. You do want to be careful though that the dosages are still in this range, because if maybe it's a turmeric capsule of like 1,000 milligrams, you want to be careful taking that twice a day. So you want to make sure that if you're taking it twice a day, the dosage is between about 500 and 750 milligrams per time, so you're not going over that recommended dosage. Now again, this is just a suggestion. Always talk to your doctor before you kind of decide the dosage, but taking it twice a day is going to help give you the best results. I'm going to tell you number 5, and then I want to tell you the number 1 brand that is recommended for turmeric and how you can find that. Okay, so number 5, how long? Now this is interesting because when taking supplements, a lot of times we expect immediate results. Maybe you take it and it's like, I should be feeling better after a day or two, or I should be feeling better after a week. Actually, the magic number is 6 weeks. Now, this is important because if you stop before that time period of about 6 weeks, you may be just missing the pain relief, the decrease in the stiffness, and the improvements in mobility. You may be just missing the benefits because you didn't take it just long enough. And so this is kind of the recommendation in order to start to see some results. Now, continuing to take it then will help to maintain those results, but being able to hit this number at about 6 weeks of consistency, that's when you can start to unlock some of these. Some people may see it sooner, some people may see it a little bit later. This is not an end-all be-all, but I want you just to kind of track to make sure that you are at least making it the full 6 weeks. Now, caveat to that being, if you do experience some side effects, if you do experience some other things, then trying to go 6 weeks is not going to be beneficial for you. So if you do experience some of these side effects within this 6 week window, reach out to your doctor, seek some medical attention just to make sure that you're not doing anything detrimental to your body. Turmeric doesn't have a ton of side effects, but they always exist when you're ingesting something into your body. There are natural ways that you can take turmeric, but even then, it's not going to be foolproof as far as side effects. So please make sure that you are watching and monitoring that as well. So these are 5 things I want you to know about turmeric and curcumin in order to get the best results for your arthritis. So you can actually just snap a picture of this on your phone, so you know these things. You can just go back through and rewatch and kind of take a few notes. But these are just some things to kind of spark some conversation. So if you're talking to your doctor about this, you can ask him, well, what's the recommended dosage that you recommend for me? How often? Oh, maybe if they say once, well, I saw that maybe twice a day is going to help with the half-life. Should I maybe take it and explore twice a day versus once a day? These are some conversation starters you can use, and just making sure that when you do buy it, maybe you buy a 6 week supply to make sure that you're hitting that, because when you have a 6 week supply, then that is going to help improve or get some improvements in these symptoms, but also help you keep track. So just make sure that you take this and start to kind of make an informed decision when it comes to turmeric and curcumin. Now, one of the number 1 brand that people have studied, experimented, what Consumer Labs does is they take a bunch of different popular supplements, so say of turmeric and curcumin, they take a bunch of supplements and they break them down. They go right in there and figure out what kind of is the crap in it, how much of curcumin is actually in it, the quality of the ingredients, everything, in order to make sure that it is an approved supplement by them, because they have a very rigorous process that they go through. So the number one turmeric curcumin capsule supplement that they found was, and let me write this down for you so you can, I'm just going to erase this, so you can make the best decision for yourself. Okay, so this is arguably the most important part of the video, because you can Google search turmeric and you can find all kinds of different things. So I'm going to write this down. It's called Root 2 turmeric extract C3. So this is what I want you to look into getting, because what this shows is that it has the highest levels of curcumin and the most cost efficient, which is really great about them too. So I'm going to put the link below. You can get it right on Amazon in this video, so that way you can go right to the link and be able to purchase it. Right now, at the time of this video, it's around $30 for 120 capsules, which is pretty good. And this is one thing that you can always try for arthritis pain relief. And if it doesn't work for you, that's okay. You're only out about $30, $60 maybe if you buy 2 of them. So it's one of those things that you can absolutely try once you're medically cleared and see if it can help supplement your pain relief. Now, another way you can get turmeric and curcumin is actually in a natural spice where you can cook with it. So if you actually like the taste of turmeric or want to at least try it, if you don't want to take a capsule or something like that, the best spice and season that they've found is actually the McCormick ground turmeric. And there wasn't actually really any comparison that I've read between the two of you should take a capsule or you should try to eat it in like a seasoning. There's not too many benefits that I found. So there may be some out there, but if you don't want to take the capsule, you can try the ground turmeric. If you don't want to eat it, or you don't like the taste of it, or you want kind of a more controlled way, you can take the capsule. Because this, you just want to be careful of the recommended milligrams and things like that. So you can try either one of these. And especially if you don't want to take a capsule, you can just sprinkle some of this into some of your meals. And they do recommend meals that are high in fat to help with the absorption. So a lot of times if you use it with beef or some chicken with, other higher fat, maybe some oils and things like that, that is going to help with the absorption of that turmeric and curcumin. So that's just something to keep in mind if you do want to cook with it. But these are 2 of the best that consumer labs found after pulling apart all kinds of different things. Now, this does not mean it's the only one. They have a whole list of approved supplements, but this is one I would start with and see how you feel. Again, once you're medically cleared. Okay, so there are other ways that you can control inflammation besides just taking turmeric. That is one way. Again, it's a supplement to supplement some of your other areas that you need improvement for arthritis. So I have a list of the best anti-inflammatory foods that you can also start eating while taking this to help to improve your arthritis symptoms. Now I have that below. It's a free guide basically of anti-inflammatory foods, and the goal is just to start, maybe if you choose 2 or 3 of these foods, just to start including in your diet instead of trying to go follow a super strict diet, unless that's for you, I always recommend just take a list of anti-inflammatory foods and find a way to start incorporating more of those foods into your diet. And that is one of the simplest ways to get started with an anti-inflammatory eating pattern or those sorts of things. So you can grab that list of the best anti-inflammatory foods and you can check these out and let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching.